What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the show. So today we're going to go over the calendar for August, so the payment schedule for August for Social Security. So that's what we're going to focus on in this video. But first off, if you guys can do me a favor, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Okay, let's go ahead. Let me flip over here to our calendar. And we do this every month. Now, I understand people who are receiving their benefits and they've been receiving their benefits for years, they know when the payment schedule goes out. However, you have people, 10,000 new people become eligible for Social Security every day. And so you have a lot of people coming into the system every month, and they might not know when the benefits go out. As well as, depending on holidays and weekends, sometimes you will receive your check on a different date. So let's go ahead and take a look here. So in August, the first thing we should note here is that SSI will be going out on the 1st. Okay, so that's Thursday. And then on Friday, people who started receiving Social Security benefits prior to May of 1997, your checks will go out on the 2nd. And the reason that it's going out on the 2nd is because the 3rd, the day that it usually goes out, is on a weekend. And so we're looking at the 14th here. That includes people who have birthdays between the 1st and the 10th. And then on the 21st, that is people whose birthday falls between the 11th and the 20th. And then on the 28th, that is for people whose birthday falls between the 21st and the 31st. So that is when those checks are going out. Now, before I say this, I need to preface it by saying this is not an extra check. Okay, so let me zoom in here because there is one more payment date in August, and that will be on the 30th. That is for people receiving SSI benefits. So you're going to receive your check on the 30th. That check is for September. Okay, let me repeat. That check is for September. So that means if we look down to September, SSI will not receive a check on the 1st because the 1st is Sunday. So I just want to make that clear because every time I say this in videos, people say, that's not an extra check. Yes, you're correct. It's not an extra check. And I'm not saying it's an extra check. I'm just saying in August, you will receive your September check. Okay? So just be aware of that. And one more thing, I do want to talk a little bit about some of the events that will be happening in August. So we'll have the DNC. That will be on the 19th, and it's all week. I think it ends on the 22nd, so it ends on Thursday. And then also, when it comes to Congress, this is not a typo. We see Congress, they're both in session on the 1st, and then we'll have the Senate in session on the 2nd, and that's it. Okay, they're on recess for the rest of the month. All right, and because of the DNC, I can see that, but these 2 weeks, I don't understand why they would be on recess for 2 weeks prior to the DNC, but that is just the way their schedule is. They have a very flexible schedule, I guess you could say, or open schedule. And then in September, we have another week of recess, and then they'll return on the 9th. Okay, now it's important to note, they're going to return on the 9th, and when they return, all you're going to hear about is the government shutdown, potential government shutdown, because they need to have a budget for 2025. They haven't passed a budget for 2025 yet, and so you're going to hear a lot of talk about this. You might even hear it in August because that kind of builds up to it where they'll be talking back and forth from their home districts, of course, because they won't be in D.C. in August, but they're going to be talking about how do we move forward, what type of budget are we going to be looking at for 2025 and all of that. So I'm just preparing you for that. Definitely when they return on the 9th, you're going to hear a lot of talk about this. And they have to get this resolved by the end of the month in September. If they don't, then we're looking at a government shutdown starting October 1st. And so that's what we're looking at when it comes to that. But I just wanted to go over the calendar. Like always, every month I will go over the calendar. And I want to repeat one more time because I know there are going to be some people that in the comments they're going to say there's not an extra check in August. You're correct. There's not an extra check in August. We all understand that, hopefully. So that check is for September. Okay, now one more thing I want to talk about before we go, and I'm going to continue to talk about this because I want to get the signatures up. We started off really good, and then it peaked, and then it just kind of I won't say it died out, but it is not. We don't have the same velocity when it comes to signatures. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about a change.org petition And what we're asking for is a demand for an increase for Social Security benefits, okay, for seniors. Right now, we are at 3,999 signatures. So we are on our way to 5,000, but we need to get there. Now, in this video, in the comment section, it'll be pinned at the very top. There will be a link. Click on that link. It'll take you over to sign the petition. Now, what are you signing? Let's go ahead and show you this. So this is the petition here. And so I encourage you to read the petition before signing it. And the demands that we're asking for when it comes to an increase for Social Security benefits, let me go over these, okay? So it says immediate legislative action to increase Social Security benefits. So we're talking about an across-the-board increase for benefits. Senator Bernie Sanders has a plan, $200 raise for Social Security. We've all heard about that. You have Representative Larson. He has another plan, Social Security 2100 Act. That gives you an increase of 2% across the board for everyone receiving benefits. And then it also gives you other increases. Okay, it depends on your situation. So as far as taxes, it will eliminate taxes for people who receive Social Security benefits. That could be a huge boost for some people who are currently paying taxes on their Social Security benefits. It also eliminates weapon GPO, which would be a huge increase for people who are receiving pensions and would be affected or are being affected right now by weapon GPO. So if you eliminate weapon GPO, all those people who are currently affected by weapon GPO would no longer be affected, and that would give them a huge boost in benefits. And so let's see, the second thing here, indexing future benefits to more accurately reflect the cost of living increases. Okay, this is important. So the cost of living adjustment every year, right now, we're talking about the cost of living adjustment because July, August, and September, these are the months where the metric that they use to calculate COLA for 2025. And so you're hearing talk about this, but they want to change that metric to the CPIE instead of using the CPIW. They're currently using the CPIW, which is for wage earners and clerical staff. We're talking about people who are currently working. They want to change it to the CPIE, which is the CPI for the elderly. That better reflects spending habits of elderly people who are receiving Social Security benefits. Okay, not all elderly people receive Social Security benefits, but I'm just saying the vast majority of people who are receiving Social Security benefits are in that senior, at the senior level. Okay, now the last thing here is strengthen the Social Security Trust Fund to ensure long-term sustainability of the benefits. Okay, so we're looking at a situation where in 10 to 11 years, we could see a decrease in benefits of about 23%. And the reason for that is because we have a trust fund right now that is helping pay out benefits, okay? And so the way that it works is you work, you contribute 6.2%, your employer matches at 6.2%. All of that money goes to the trust fund. Now, that money from the trust fund will go to pay out benefits. And so just to kind of give you an example of what I'm saying, 80%, let's just say 80%. So if you're working right now, you're paying into the payroll contribution, your employer's matching that. That's about 80% of what is needed to pay out benefits at 100%, okay? So pay out benefits to people who are currently receiving them. So what they're doing is they're taking from the trust fund. So the trust fund has about $2.7 trillion in it right now. They're taking a little bit of that every month to make sure that they're paying out benefits at 100%. But when that trust fund runs out of money, and it's set to do that in 10 to 11 years, that's when we will see that cut of about 23% because you're no longer going to be able to take from a trust fund because you're not going to have a trust fund left. And all you're going to be receiving, if you're receiving Social Security benefits, you're just receiving the payroll contributions. So people who are working and their employees that are matching, that's all the money that's going to be going to Social Security. You're not going to have anything extra to complete that 100% that needs to go out. So that is why we need to reform Social Security. And one way that they're talking about reforming Social Security is raising the cap. And so people making over $400,000, they would now have to start contributing to FICA again because the cutoff right now is $168,600. Once you make more than that, if you make over that, you no longer have to pay into FICA. Okay, so what they want to do is they want to change that. Now, another way that they can bring in more revenue is they can raise the payroll contribution for everyone across the board. So that's another strategy, and that would mean that if you're currently working, you might have to, instead of paying 6.2%, you might have to pay 7.2% or 8.2%. Now, it will be a small increase, but it would guarantee that Social Security would be there for another 75 years, and that's what we all want. So that is what we're talking about here, and that's why we're asking for an increase for Social Security benefits, but not only an increase, but we need to see reform, okay? You do have some politicians out there that are talking about cuts to Social Security, okay? And they want to cut Social Security, but even if you cut Social Security, even if you raise a full retirement age, you're still going to need to bring in more revenue. Okay, cutting Social Security is only going to extend the program out maybe 5 years, but that's it. It's not going to be drastic. The only way that you can be drastic is by bringing in more revenue, and so raising the cap or raising the payroll contribution across the board. So I want to know what you guys think, and please go over to that petition, sign the petition, share it with your family and friends. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe for more, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.